WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock.
And I'm Riley Livingston. The pilot of a single-engine plane is injured after the aircraft crashed at the Ole Miss golf course this afternoon. A spokesperson from the University of Mississippi says the plane affiliated with Civil Air Patrol was performing touch-and-go takeoffs and takeoff and landings when it crashed around 3:15. The plane went down near the 17th tee box at the golf course. The pilot was the only one on board and is being treated at a Memphis area trauma center for severe burns. No one on the ground was injured. The FAA has been contacted and will handle the investigation. No other information is available at this time.
The victim of Friday afternoon's fatal boating accident on Smith Lake has been identified. 12-year-old Maggie Tackett was killed after the boat she was on crashed near the Corinth boat ramp in Winston County, Alabama. Two other juveniles, also from Pontotoc County, were injured. Alabama law enforcement agency Marine troopers say 9 people were on board at the time of the accident. The crash follows a Wednesday night collision where a Troy, Alabama woman is still missing. The cause of both accidents is under investigation.
A Lowndes County man that was injured in a fireworks accident is in stable condition. On the 4th of July around 10 p.m., 34-year-old Montrell Turner received a facial trauma while shooting fireworks. Turner underwent surgery at a Jackson hospital to treat a gash in his eyeball and a broken bone near his eye. Deanne Parson of Crawford says her nephew is on the road to recovery.
Police and emergency crews are trying to find out what caused a massive blast that destroyed a shopping center in Plantation, Florida this morning. Now, Deputy Chief for the Plantation Fire Department, Joel Gordon, says 21 people were injured during the explosion. Despite ruptured gas lines found in the debris, no cause has been confirmed as of yet. Now, the explosion in Plantation, which is just outside of Fort Lauderdale, destroyed several businesses and disrupted traffic in the area.
A powerful magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit Southern California on Friday at a supermarket in Hawthorne. Signs swung as shoppers browsed the aisles. The quake hit the town of Ridgecrest on the edge of Death Valley National Park, 125 miles northeast of Los Angeles. A swarm of strong aftershocks have jolted the high desert region since a 6.4 quake on Thursday. Only a few injuries were reported in that quake, but officials said 2 houses caught fire from broken gas pipes.
Well, a community in Starkville comes together in order to help one of its own. Our Tyler Hull has more on the story.
Last month, an early morning storm packing strong winds left a Starkville woman's home with roof damage and other problems on her property. Seeing her need, a local church answered the call to help.
Well, we wanted to be a blessing in our neighborhood and in our community, so there was an individual who needed some help, and so we just came to that call as being a help for us as a church.
Reverend Mariko Clark is the pastor of Blackjack Missionary Baptist Church. He says what these volunteers are doing is true mission work.
It's a joy because it puts us in the place of being able to do what the Word of God tells us. Jesus tells us, by this shall men know that you're my disciples, by the love you have one to another. And so we just try to be a blessing to any individual.
Clark says their mission to help this neighbor in need has inspired others to get involved.
Because of the efforts on the past couple of weeks, we've been able to have individuals join with us and connect with us, not just black, whites as well. And that's what our community is supposed to be about. That's what the church is about.
The homeowner, who did not want to be identified, tells me she's thankful for the support of the church and others in the community. Clark says they're just as grateful.
And so we're just thankful that we are able to be a blessing to somebody in our community.
Reporting from Starkville, Tyler Hull, WCBI News.
Once again, the homeowner did not want to be on camera, but she says she is thankful that she lives in a community where people help out one another. It's time now for our first look at our forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith. Kendall, another hot one.
Well, Cash, another hot one is right. We saw some shower and thunderstorm activity earlier this afternoon, but the good news is that has since moved out of our area, leaving us with lots and lots of sunshine and blue skies. Area-wide, this taking a look on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera. We're seeing dry conditions, and we are hot as well. Like you mentioned, temperatures are sitting in the upper 80s and low 90s, 90 in West Point, 90 in Tupelo, and 91 in Amory. Now, as we go throughout the overnight hours, temperatures will drop down into the low to mid 70s. Another warm and muggy night is in store for us with scattered storms.
Thanks, Kendall. Just about every community has its own version of a farmer's market. It's a great place to get fresh fruits and vegetables that are locally grown.
That's right, Riley. But one community offering a little more than produce at their market. Even on a holiday weekend when most folks are out of town, the Starkville Community Market has a steady stream of shoppers and vendors. And it's no surprise that the main draw is the freshly harvested produce from area farmers.
The best thing is that you're getting the freshest produce possible, and it's the best flavor that you can get. We've got varieties that you can't get in the grocery store, and we've got basil that was harvested just literally minutes ago.
But the community market here is unique. In fact, Candy Creasing with the United Way of Northern Central Mississippi sees the market as an opportunity to promote education.
Anywhere we can be to get books out to all those that love books, to inspire reading amongst children. Teachers are coming by and getting books for their classrooms.
Her booth uses a give and take method that really highlights the community portion of the community market.
And all our good neighbors donate their books, knowing and trusting us to distribute the books for free to all the other good neighbors.
And in addition to bettering their health and education,
Thank you so much.
visitors can also attend to municipal matters at the market by talking with the mayor directly.
This is just an opportunity to sit out and talk about things. I tweet about, come out to the market, let's talk Starkville, let's talk about what's going on, and I end up finding out information that matters to a lot of folks and other people don't notice, like a street sign that's bent, or that I've got a pothole that's coming up, or when am I going to get my sidewalk fixed.
Sproul says the format of her booth and the market itself is to serve the community in as many ways as possible.
It's just a matter of communicating and connecting with people and letting them know that you're available and accessible and that you want to help.
Well, those with the United Way of Northern Central Mississippi say the market has helped them give away almost 3,000 books so far this year. For more information on the Starkville Community Market or the United Way of Northern Central Mississippi, visit our website at WCBI.com.
Remembering the old times, Crawford kicks off an old school reunion to share memories of the town's history. Community members came together to enjoy food, music, and to reconnect with those that have been away for years. And those who attended got to meet the oldest living citizen in Crawford, Frazier White Jr. White has lived in Crawford his entire life and hopes younger community members will be inspired in this town.
I hope they grow up and, first of all, have a love for this place.
Back like we used to be, try to be. So we're just showing them how good we can be faithful and be a fellowship with everybody.
Mayor Parson plans to host another reunion next year. A Tupelo woman is celebrating the one-year anniversary of a double lung transplant that saved her life. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
The Bean family is sitting around the dining room table. It is a close-knit family that has sung gospel music together for 40 years. But one member of the Bean family will always remember the 4th of July for more than being America's birthday. Janike's Bean Long says her problem started 6 years ago.
Back in 2013, I was an avid runner, and I got to where I couldn't run and I couldn't catch good breaths. I couldn't breathe well. So I went from running to walking, from walking to nothing.
Eventually, Long went to the doctor, who determined that she had a rare autoimmune disorder, which attacked both of her lungs.
So I went on for about 4.5 years, and I needed oxygen and more oxygen, and eventually got to where I needed it 24/7. But I still worked my job, and I still took care of my girls, and still, was able to function with the help of oxygen.
But in January of 2018, Long's condition worsened to where doctors determined that she needed a lung transplant at UAB Hospital in Birmingham.
So I ended up getting on the transplant list in May, and I got the call in July 2nd, and I had a double lung transplant July 4th, 2018.
And Long is thankful that she had the support of her family throughout her long ordeal.
As a mother, it's been really hard. There were times that I wished I could have taken her place, because she's my third daughter, and she's been pretty healthy. She has 3 kids, and it's been really hard.
I had never experienced any of my children being sick. I mean, that's, that serious. And being a Christian, man, we just prayed, and many people prayed for us. God just brought her through.
And now, a year after the operation, Long says things have gotten easier.
I've had a few bumps in the road, but it's been easier. I've been admitted probably about 6 times since the surgery, but right now is my longest span that I've gone where I hadn't been hospitalized for something. So I'm excited about that.
And Long is looking forward to when she can return to work. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Tupelo.
Long says she hopes she will be back running 5Ks soon.
One man's week-long campout in an area mall comes to a close. We'll have the full story after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 p.m. with Riley Livingston and Cash Matlock.
Scott Burns is wrapping up his week-long campout inside the mall of Barnes Crossing earlier this week. He told you about the disabled veteran who's looking to raise money for several organizations that benefit veterans. In the previous 12 years, he has raised $175,000 and has set a goal this year of raising $25,000 in order to reach the $200,000 mark. He says holding the event during the week of July 4th honors those who are serving our country.
There are men and women hundreds of thousands of miles away from their families that are once again willing to lay down their life so that we can enjoy time at the lake and spend time with our family and go to work every day and camp out in the food court of the mall and even watch this news program that we're able to watch because of the freedoms that those men and women have given us.
Burns will be back tomorrow to announce the winners of the donated merchandise. He says 80% of the money donated is going to Purple Heart Homes, which rebuilds houses and makes them handicap accessible, and some of the money will be donated to the Gold Star Family Monument that is being built at Veterans Park, as well as the local Marine Corps League.
Well, we are going to keep this hot and humid trend going for the remainder of your weekend with heat indexes climbing near the triple digits, and scattered storms are possible for your Sunday. More on those rain details coming up next.
Your first alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, we saw some shower and thunderstorm activity roll through our area earlier this afternoon, but that has since pushed off to our east, leaving us with lots and lots of sunshine and blue skies. This is taking a live look in downtown Tupelo on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera, where it's currently 90 degrees, the dew point sitting at 70. So it is hot and muggy out there. If you do happen to be out and about at this time, make sure you have water on hand. Area-wide temperatures are sitting in the upper 80s and low 90s, 89 in Amory, 90 in West Point, 90 in Tupelo, 87 down in Macon. Now, as we go throughout the overnight hours, temperatures will drop down into the low to mid 70s. Partly cloudy skies are expected, but then those rain chances are going to ramp back up after midnight, and then by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we could see some shower and thunderstorm activity. So this is our current setup on Doppler radar. We are finally dry. This is good news. All that shower and thunderstorm activity we saw earlier this afternoon has since pushed off to our east, leaving us with dry conditions right now and as we go throughout the remainder of your evening. So we're going to stay dry for the overnight hours, but the clouds do start to build back in by midnight, and then around 3 a.m. that's when we could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms start to pop up. And then by 6 a.m. we're seeing a little bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. We're going to keep those rain chances around for most of your morning. Around 9 a.m. we're still seeing some showers and thunderstorms out there. But the good news is by lunchtime, we look to start drying things out again with partly cloudy skies right ahead of our next batch of showers and thunderstorms that will creep in by late afternoon, early evening hours. And we're going to keep these rain chances around for the remainder of your afternoon and evening hours. But by overnight, Sunday, we look to dry things out. So if you're hoping to head to the pool tomorrow, temperatures will be in the low to mid 90s. But when you factor in that heat index, it will feel like the triple digits, and scattered storms are possible all day tomorrow. So just make sure that if thunder roars, you head indoors. So on Monday, we also have some more rain to talk about. Monday morning, we look to be dry as a stationary front is situated there. But then by Monday afternoon, we look to see more widespread shower activity. We're going to push that out of our area, be dry on Tuesday morning. But then We're going to see some more shower activity come through on Tuesday afternoon. We're going to dry things back out overnight, and on Wednesday morning we look to be dry once again. So this is pretty typical summer weather for Mississippi. Area-wide temperatures will top out in the low 90s tomorrow, 92 in Tupelo. Much of the same expected for our southern counties. Looking at 94 in Philadelphia, 93 tomorrow in Louisville, and then West Alabama looking in the low 90s, 92 in Reform, 91 in Vernon, and 91 in Solagent. So we're going to keep this trend going for the next several days with an isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms each afternoon and evening.
The Mustangs of Mantachie are the next up on the high school football tour. Another day closer to football season. Catch the preview next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
The high school football tour rolls along with stop number 13 featuring the Mantachie Mustangs. Tachi Tech hopes the bumps and bruises from the past 2 seasons pay off as the Mustangs will face new competition, dropping down to Class 2A.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
We've been young, but all those young kids that's been playing and going through those struggles, they're all older now, and we've got a big group of seniors, a good group of seniors that have really taken ownership of this team this offseason, and the offseason's just been, I couldn't ask for any more from the guys.
The leadership role I feel like I need to take on this team is just show up, just work as hard as I can and make, a good example.
Jacob Frazier, he played last year. He was our first year playing quarterback. He struggled a little bit early on, but by the time he figured it out, it was, coach was calling me asking about him, and he's a big kid and, we got a live arm.
Jacob's got a great arm. He can get the ball where he needs to get it, and execution, getting the ball caught and making the plays.
Really just working on getting bigger and trying to get stronger that way. And we've been a young team, and it kind of helps being a little bigger, and we've been working on the pass game a lot more, so I think that's going to help us in the long run.
East Union, obviously, they won the region last year, and they got a lot of kids returning, and Coach Walton does a tremendous job with those guys, and Walnut's always got some talent over there, and Strayhorn has had talent in the past. Potts Camp's got some talent. It's hard to say this far out as far as the region goes, but going into it, I would have to say that East Union would be the front runner as far as winning the region right now.
East Union's a good team, but I feel like we put in the hard work, and I feel like we'll have a good chance against them.
Last year we played a lot of big teams, Booneville, and a lot of great teams that we've, struggled against and didn't do so hot against. But 2A, a lot of the teams, they can't be any better, can't be any worse. I feel like we'll have the same experiences and just do what we can.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Mantachie High School was brought to you by Farmers and Merchants Bank.
For those keeping up with the high school football tour at home, here's some of the upcoming stops. Bruce coming up on Sunday, Calhoun City on Monday, of course, putting the Schooner River rivals back to back. Belmont on Tuesday, Booneville on Wednesday. Go over to our Twitter accounts at WCBI Endzone, Twitter and Facebook, WCBI Endzone, to see the schedule in full. And if you've missed any of the prior 12 stops to this point, go to our website, WCBI.com. Tupelo native and former Diamond Dog Brandon Woodruff added to the National League All-Star roster. Woodruff replacing his Milwaukee Brewers teammate Josh Hader. It'll be the first All-Star appearance for Woodruff. The Wheeler baseball alumnus is in the midst of his breakout campaign, tied with the National League leading 10 wins on the season, also 5th in the NL in strikeouts, as well as top 20 in ERA. Hail State Hoops wins Pool C in the World University Games, dominating Slovakia 92-52. The Bulldogs representing as the USA team, they'll advance to the bracket stage now to be one of 8 teams to compete for a medal. The stellar showing from freshman Rakia Jackson continues. After dropping 33 a couple days ago, Jackson leading the Bulldogs with 16 points, along with 5 boards and 2 blocks. The Bulldogs will face China tomorrow at 1 p.m. That's it for sports. With the last forecast coming up after the break.
We had the chance to see an isolated shower or thunderstorm over the next 7 days. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 90s, but when you factor in that heat index, it will feel like the triple digits, and lows will be in the low 70s. So summer weather's in store for us.
I was going to say, in that humidity.
Yes, it's going to be there.
It looks kind of stormy, too.
I've been feeling it. My hair's been feeling it.
Yes. Exactly.
So a little rain, it looks like, a little stormy.
Each afternoon and evening, yep.
Just a normal summer.
Yes.
Well, we hope everyone has a great night, and we'll see you back here at 9 and 10.